Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hey, it's been a week. How are you doing?
Very good.
Yeah?
We are wearing glasses.
Oh yeah, why
today.
are you wearing sunglasses?
Oh, this. Do you know this brand?
What's that?
It's called Pine.
Okay.
Our friend is working for this brand,
Yeah.
and just last week,
Yeah.
they had a family sale.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get the sunglasses from the brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Wanted to support the brand and the friend, yeah?
So this is not the Anken.
This is-
This is not Anken, but wanted to kind of show off.
How'd you like it?
I like it.
Yeah?
That's why I'm wearing it inside the room. Wearing sunglasses inside the room.
So our friend, she works for the glasses company, the sunglasses company, and there was like a sale, so we wanted to support her and just ended up buying a lot.
Yeah. Amazing. Huh?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
Anyway, could you tell us what this show is about?
So this show is called Slow Starters.
Yep.
And we have the motto
Yeah.
of trying things
Mm-hmm.
anytime at your any life stage.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of promote the concept of slow starters.
Yeah.
You can try anything at any age.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, and we want to learn from new things,
Yeah.
new experience, and share within the community. That is our motto.
Good.
Sounds good. It's a different way, right?
Yeah.
different way of saying.
Yep. Great. So anyway,
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked
Okay.
it. Good. So on the way back to Tokyo, I asked Yuta what we should talk about in this episode, and then he came up
From London.
from London.
Yeah.
And he came up with like great ideas, great topics, and
Topics like 10 topics.
like 10, 11 topics,
Yeah.
which is quite
A lot.
interesting. They're really
Yeah.
interesting.
And now I know what topics you will like.
Oh yeah. It's always about something related to
Reflecting on you.
Yeah. Mental challenges
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
good,
So
it's good.
yeah. So today we would like to talk about one big topic, which is should we prioritize focusing on our strength
Strengths, yeah.
or focus on
Weakness.
the weakness?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great topic
topics.
to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
And like living in Japan,
yeah.
I'm sure you have heard this questions before. And just so what is your kind of opinion toward this?
I think it depends on the time.
Yeah, and the
Right.
context, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the context.
But like culturally, I think Japan
It's more
you,
like
you need to work on your weakness.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
true.
no, I wouldn't say nobody cares your strengths, but like compared to I don't know US or other countries, maybe it's, they focus on like your strengths, but Japan remove your weakness.
That's true.
The cultural tendency, I feel like that.
It tends to be leaning towards the fixing the weakness rather than like
and don't
focusing on the
bother
strength.
people.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Kind of like maybe we got. I think the education system in Japan, maybe when we were young. No, I'm not sure about now, but when we were young, our the Japanese education system is more like we have to be kind of like an all-round, all-rounder, which is like we should be able to do basically everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's a great topic to talk about today. Okay. First of all, why did you come up with this topic?
In the concept, I understand we need to focus on strengths. I think that's more kind of my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why? I had this question,
Yeah.
why? And also sometimes it's hard to focus on your strengths
Yeah.
and why.
Mm.
So I had a kind of questions why, toward this question topics.
Yeah.
And then I thought about why it's happening, and then kind of came up the idea.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe that's the kind of society works that way, meaning it's very competitive. So then like you need to sometimes focus on strengths, sometimes focus on weakness. So context or environment determines probably this topic or answer.
It's true. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's why maybe it's good to discuss. I thought.
And then it's also like I feel very suffocated, in daily life.
Yeah.
Just comparing myself to other people. Because social media, basically,
Yeah.
You see a lot of bubbly, vivid, amazing life of other people.
Fancy.
And then compare
food
myself to
and-
other people. And then like, oh, my life sucks, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like I lost confidence.
Yeah.
Wait, so I thought this was my strength, but like there are so many people better than I do
Yeah.
in this field, for example.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's getting tiring for me to think about like to do a comparison with other people.
Yeah.
Maybe because maybe I was once very confident about something,
Yeah.
but then turns out it's nothing.
I think because this, I think you're right. SNS kind of creates that situation.
Yeah.
You start to focus on or compare with other people, but actually it doesn't matter. Other people. You need to focus on your strengths or weakness. I think there's no answer. And then if you focus on your strengths, then like what kind of improvement you can go from there, right? And how you can use that strengths into the everyday life, whatever, or how you can fix or improve your weakness by focusing on you, right? But then once you start to compare with other people, there's no focus, right? And then like you start to compare, and then, oh, I'm Zach or something like that.
So how can we stop the pattern? So we're going to be talking about like how we can stop comparing ourselves to other people, and also like important stuff, the steps to understand which is more important to do. Let's say focus on the strength or focusing on getting rid of the weakness. What I think is important is to learn from your past. I don't think it's possible not to compare myself to other people.
So you compare.
Always
basically.
compare, like unconsciously, like subconsciously.
Or like a society works that way.
Yeah, I mean,
you
like,
are constantly, getting the pressure.
The pressure, because
true.
Okay, I think this person becomes very successful in this field. And how can I do that? How can I be successful? And at that point, you already compare yourself to other people. Right. So it's impossible not to compare. But I think healthier way. I think the healthier way is to compare your past self.
So it's kind of shifting towards
like
the past of you.
Basically like past version of yourself.
Reflects on you.
Basically I think it's important to reflect what, let's say, when you make mistakes, when you
accomplish something.
When you felt you're short in something, you always think about like what's missing. So that like now comparing yourself to past self of you, what's missing, like you probably understand like what's missing, and you probably understand like what you're gonna to make it make it better.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the first step is to kind of like learn from the past.
Yeah.
And maybe like start comparing yourself rather than comparing yourself to other people.
Got it. So
Yeah.
kind of shifting toward
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
myself,
Yep.
right?
So the good example is that let's say triathlon.
Yeah.
We accomplished the task, but at the same time it wasn't the best performance.
It wasn't.
Right.
I was like pooping on
You
pandy
didn't-
guy. I didn't do it, but it just looks like that.
Yeah. So, let's say for me the hardest part was biking.
Yeah.
The bicycle, the cycling.
Yeah.
Right. So, this year I focused on cycling
Yeah.
because that was the weakest point.
Yeah.
So that means like, I compare myself to my past self.
Yeah.
And then try to analyze, okay, this
Yeah.
is like something I should kind
Yeah.
of like focus on. Yeah. So that's a great example.
Yeah. Can I add on something?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think I agree. We should kind of compare with our past, and we need to first step maybe or second step. We need to understand what is the strength, what is the weakness, because just comparing yourself with the past,
Yeah.
along the way, I think you need to understand what is your strengths and then what is the weakness, right? Your case,
Yeah.
your bicycle was
Yeah.
weakness.
Yeah.
Then from there you can actually work on the weakness. Yeah. How you can? I have a question. So, how can you identify your weakness and strengths?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
then, like, maybe you automatically, just know what strengths, what is your strengths is. But then, like, sometimes you compare with, other people, and then you feel like, oh, I'm good, right? Or I'm
Enough.
not good, for example, right? By comparing with others. So it's kind of paradox, like we are saying focus on you in the past, but at the same time, how are you going to identify your strengths and the weakness? That's kind of a good question.
I mean, first of all,
to
like
think
I
about.
think if it's a healthy competition, like with
Yeah.
other people, then I think that's necessary.
Got it.
It's not like you should not compare yourself to other people. You should may sometimes at one
Yeah.
point. That's my like
Got it. I
honest
understand.
opinion. Yeah.
Because, I think if focus is on ourselves, then you can compare.
Yeah.
Because always reflecting, maybe he's good or not, but compared to me, he's like, let's say, I don't know, smarter or richer or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But always getting back to you, and then okay, maybe he's like a smarter. How I can improve from here, right? Then like
True. Yeah.
always coming back to you.
Yeah. In the end.
And more actionable things like
Yeah.
you identified.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so that's a healthy competition.
Yeah.
I think what we were like I think what we were talking about, why we should not compare ourselves to other people, is because nowadays social media is it's like curse.
Yeah.
And
And
you always like naturally subconsciously always compare yourself to other people, and then like which life is better.
Yeah, and then you don't come back to you, right?
No.
You feel, oh, he's smarter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm shit.
Yeah. And then
Done.
that's it. Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
Yeah.
And then it become more like
True.
difficult to probably accept who you are and
there's no action
complain
from
and
there.
yeah.
Interesting.
So that makes jealousy
Yeah.
for sure. If it's a healthy
Frustrated.
jealousy, That's
No
okay.
self-esteem.
No self-esteem, becoming less confident.
Interesting.
So that's the way we should avoid.
True.
But I think, to me, what I'm working on right now, this is actually something I talked to my counselor 2 days ago. And my challenge, one of my challenges is I always seek the validation from other people.
Yeah.
I always want other people to kind of like admit like I'm a great person, like I have a great personality, and that's I am always like seeking, right? But if you recognize, let's say that is my, if I recognize, since I recognize that's my pattern, makes me feel like, man, life is hard, because you always seek the validation from other people. You always care about like what other people think about me. Man, that's really tiring, right? So I ask him, how can I stop? How can I stop comparing myself to other people? How can I stop seeking the validation from other people? And the counselor was giving me a few advices. One is that try accepting who you are. And man, that is definitely one of the hardest challenges. Because accept your weakness, accept your patterns, is sometimes you think
It's not easy.
Sometimes you think you have to admit that you have weakness. You thought you were better, but by accepting your weakness, you have to lower your standard, right? Well, actually, you're not lowering your standard, but you feel like you're lowering your standard, because I thought I could do better, but then like this is my current position. No, actually, this is, I thought this is my position, but this is where I am now, right? So this gap is sometimes unbearable to accept. So it was quite difficult for me to admit my weakness and pattern, and also accept my current position. But at the same time, accepting, let's say, the weakness is actually teaching me what I should do in the future.
Right? And it's finding headroom. You have the room to grow. That's actually actually a great point. We always should have room for improvement. Even if you accomplish something, you always seek other goals, right? To accomplish, because you wanna grow. And also, I think it's also important to connecting with actions.
True.
Because there's a headroom to grow, right? And if you don't take actions, you never grow. So let's say you find some weakness. Accepting your weakness or whatever, then like how you can go from there, what actions you can take it, then you are automatically getting into kind of growth mode. I think people tend to be, especially myself, I subconsciously want to be the best version of myself. I always want to feel happiness, but without the feeling of sadness, without the feeling of not best version of yourself, you don't really understand the best version of yourself. You don't understand how important to feel happiness, like a happy, right? So it's like a yin and yang, the relationship between the yin and yang. You feel light because you know the color, the feeling of darkness. Right? Got it.
So it's the same thing. Like, to me, understanding my weakness means that I could focus on my strength as well. Because I can recognize like what could be my strength. Right? What I could understand what strength I could I have.
Yeah.
Right. So accepting who you are, including your weakness, including the parts that you don't like about yourself, is extremely important.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time to accept.
I mean, working on your weakness is really hard, but if you don't do that, then like the weakness kind of sits there, right?
Yeah.
And working on strengths or using strengths is probably easier.
Yeah.
Right. It's fun. It's fun part.
It's fun part. Yes.
It's fun part.
Yeah.
And in a society, especially Japan, this kind of operating system is kind of subtracting system. How do you say like 減点方式?
So basically you're deducting the points from
But we should be living in adding like some game, you know? Like adding additional points you get, you know.
Okay.
How you say like
okay. So instead
加点方式と減点方式.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying like Japanese system is more like instead of focusing on adding the points from what you're missing.
Yeah.
You basically like take a look and you focus on what's missing, right?
Trying to like society is kind of strict.
Yeah.
Oh, Tatsu is cool, but
he's
like that.
Okay. Yeah. Focusing on the negativity the whole time. Yes. It's kind of like a defense mechanism, right? Like
I think sometimes it's important to look things that way.
Yeah.
But I think we want to live more energetic and then be positive. Then like you should live in more adding points.
True. Of course, like it's important to think about the risk. The risks. The potential risks. So like it's like a risk hedge. So you kind of like prepare for like what's missing. Like when the thing happens, when the trouble happens, like you know, you always have to be ready. I totally understand like that's a system, the reason why people start thinking about that way. But at the same time, like we just focus on too much on what's missing. We tend to forget like what can we do better.
Exactly. And also society works this way. You know, the subtracting points from you. Regardless of what we think, right? So just let them do it. And then like we focus on our game, which is adding points.
That's true. So I mean it might sound like very easy.
It sounds easy,
but I think it's really important to think about the balance. Right, like what's missing and
so how you find the, going back to the question, how you find your weakness and the strengths in a healthy way.
In a healthy way, I think you should constantly talk to yourself.
Yes, that I thought journaling is a key.
Journaling is a key. Yeah.
Really key.
Yeah. It always goes it always goes back to square one. We always care about like, you know, the journaling, and we always do it because we want to understand like who we are and what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, right?
Because strengths is based on probably coming from past result. Oh, I could do this. This is probably, relatively speaking, a great result, let's say. And why that happened? What I did do well. Right? Then like, oh, Yuta was doing good in terms of communication, or let's say execution, blah, blah, blah. Then execution and communications are strengths. And how I can improve. What I could do better. So that's kind of identifying your strengths. Not because your mom told you or your girlfriend or wife told you. Maybe that's some point.
Could be the first starting point.
But I think it's really important you go back to the point and kind of analyze the situation and understand deeply what was working and what was not. Weakness goes the same thing.
What if people do not want to improve? Well, that's their game. So like we can't really force them to, okay, you should do that, this and that, right?
Yeah.
But what if people, let's say you meet people and they think,
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. And
I think that's good. He
or she should be confident.
Yeah, she should live in that way. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
rather
that's
than
true.
be be negative and like, oh, I'm bad, like I'm shit.
How about let's say, so I have talked to people who do not know how to start journaling.
Yeah.
How, like, because there's too many things going on in your head, too many thoughts going on, and then you can't really focus on like what to write. So once you once they grab a pen or pencil, they just start freak out.
Yeah, I think you're like your mom.
Yeah, my mom was like, I don't know what to do. Right.
Then the point is, I think reflection, right, on you.
Yeah.
Reflecting on you. So maybe you can do it by phone or writing again. If the writing doesn't work, you can talk to your partner, or a counselor, or what I was doing, when I was a kid. For me, there are three. Why are you laughing?
No.
Three things.
Yeah.
Three moments.
Yeah.
That I kind of reflect on.
When you were
myself,
young.
when I was like 8 or 9 or
10.
Ten.
That young. Okay.
Yeah.
Baby Yuta.
Maybe 小3ぐらい.
So like 10 years old.
10 years old.
Yeah. Still Baby Yuta.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the toilet.
Yeah.
Balcony.
Yeah.
Balcony, but when there's a sunset.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my reflecting point or moment.
Okay.
Do you have any reflecting moment?
Reflecting.
Now I also running is my part of reflecting moment, not only journaling.
Oh yeah. With that sense, gym is for sure. Like gym is definitely a place that like I always reflect on myself, because you can't. Let's say I want to carry this weight, but you can't. But you have to think about like how you do it, right? And then I think I told you, like, I used to compare myself to other people, but then like I slowly start understanding my way, my goals, which is quite different from other people. So
going back to you.
Well, exactly. Like, this is like what I want. This is like, so my goal is, let's say for example, when I finish the Ironman or triathlon or whatever, and maybe their goal is to win the physique competition, right? So gym is definitely it's a place where I reflect without even thinking.
Also for me, Shinkansen and the airplane.
So basically, like when you're on the transportation, like, okay,
I kind of, because I don't have to worry about the phone, whatever, and then like I do the journaling in a Shinkansen and then airplane.
Actually, running is also the moment when I reflect things. Because it's hard, but then like you try to create the room in my, like, physically and also mentally, right? So that you feel better. You can run more. You can run faster. You can run longer and stuff. So I guess it's a great moment for me to reflect, running and also working out at the gym. Rather than like accept, like I in addition to when you do journaling.
So besides journaling, I think there are many things that you can reflect on yourself. Right? So again, let's summarize the important elements of this topic. So like we said, what should we do? So I guess like the topic is also kind of shifted a little bit, because we were talking about like which is more important, like focusing on weakness
or focusing on the strength, which is more important, right? But then we
Go ahead.
we shifted to more like, how should we stop comparing ourselves to other people?
No, but I can answer the question.
Okay, yeah.
Which we should focus on,
Yeah.
strengths or weakness?
Yeah.
I mean, answer is like both.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
But I think the answer is depending on your goal.
Mm.
The answer will be different.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you have the goal of finishing Ironman.
Yeah.
Right? And then you reflect on yourself. What is your strengths? What is your weakness? Then if your weakness kills you, then like you cannot accomplish finishing Ironman.
Right.
Then you need to really focus on that weakness. Right?
Okay. So setting goals.
Setting goals.
The clear one.
Depending on the goal,
Mm.
there's a balance, and then the balance will kind of shift.
Right.
It changes.
Right.
Let's say you for example, your case, your strength was, let's say, running.
Yeah.
Let's say, and then like you should train running, and then you can have the fundamental stamina.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let's say this your swim sucks,
Mm.
then like you cannot finish the race,
Yeah.
the triathlon.
Yeah.
So at least you need to work on the swimming
Yeah.
part. So that's my kind of answer.
Yeah.
Am I answering to the
Yeah.
question?
I think you got a point for sure. Without the clear goals, you don't really understand like what you should do to become better, right? So, like you said, having clear goals or setting goals, also gives you a lot of clarity and also determination.
Yeah.
Right. So if the goal itself is very weak and fragile and unclear, of course you don't know which direction you should go.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're happy with yourself, that's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Be happy.
Yes, be
Good.
happy. You're good.
You're good. You don't have to listen to this podcast. It's okay. You teach me how to become happy. Like for real. But like people like me, I always struggle like which direction I want to go.
Yeah.
What are the things that I should do?
Yeah.
What are the things I should prioritize?
Yeah.
So I think my priority is to just set a goal or set goals, like a clear one.
Yeah.
And then analyze like my current position.
Yeah.
Right. And then understand like, well, first of all, like I need to accept like this is something I can't do. Like this is something it's really difficult when I do it. So accepting like my current position, who I am right now at this moment is a key.
Yeah.
It's a very important
Yeah.
action for me as a first step.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
But maybe if I can add one more.
Yeah.
Accepting who you are is important. Accepting your weakness is really important. But I think being obsessed with your weakness is not okay. So the reason is that, well, people like me, I can be negative. I can be negative so easily, right? So if I'm obsessed with my negativity, if I think about it too much, I would become very negative the whole time.
Yeah.
You're so obsessed with it. Your mind is always think things negatively. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Focus on your strength as well. Focus on like what your strengths are too. Just do not forget.
Yeah. I think working on your weakness is important, but that costs you lots of energy and time compared to maybe working on strengths.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing is like be sustainable.
Yeah.
It's important to work on a weakness.
Yeah.
But if you cannot continue or keep the consistency, then like sometimes you need to shift on your strengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also that's a balance. There's an example. So when I was working for Google, I was working like as a customer support
Yeah.
specialist.
Yeah.
And I really did didn't like the job.
Yeah.
I was not good at. Clearly,
Yeah.
that was my weakness.
Yeah.
Entire, the job description and the role was basically highlighting my weakness, But then, like, I was working for the job like for 9 months.
Yeah.
I almost quit. Maybe 3 times I told my manager,
Yeah.
I want to quit.
Mm.
And because I was depressed.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
Losing confidence a lot. I was like a more sales guy, like communicating with people. But then, like, at the end of the day, I thought maybe, in my lifetime,
Yeah.
these are the time that I need to work on the weakness. And I like the people.
Yeah.
So people around me. So maybe I can learn from these people and a little bit work on weakness.
Yeah.
And I had that time the idea of going to Premier League, like a sport team to join. And there's a guy like, oh, maybe you can come. And I wanted to go. But as I said, maybe I shouldn't escape from that.
You mean run away?
Yeah, run away. Yeah, from that situation. And I really, I'm happy that I didn't escape.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was in a dark place and really depressed. You shouldn't be in a position. I'm saying like a little bit. How can I say? Both way. You need to work on the weakness, but at the same time, don't get depressed.
Yeah.
You need to a little bit balance out.
Yeah.
Talk to people, or maybe work less, or focusing on strengths.
So you basically face it.
Face it, yeah. Face it, but don't drag into like a really depressed mode. The situation.
Yeah, I think that the tricky part is like once you start focusing on your weakness or the parts that you don't like about yourself.
Yeah.
You initially lose confidence, right?
It costs a lot of energy.
Yeah. But I think
if there's a goal,
yes, like that's exactly what I want to say. If you know where you want to head to, if you know where you want to go, right? Yes, it's like energy consuming. It's hard, and you might be scared of like being sad or depressed the whole time. But once you know where you want to go, then try to like understand. Let's say, do not forget about where you want it, where you want it to go, what kind of people you want it to be. I know it's I always say it's like no feelings final, and it's everything is a part of the process. Yeah. So you're in the part of the process right now. Like you're here now.
There's a light.
There's there's always like the end point in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like it's dark, there's always the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Like my case.
Yeah.
At that time, I wanted to work for sports marketing job or project in Google, right? And working for the customer service was nothing related with the sports at the time. Yeah. But I thought it's important to get into this fast-paced tech companies environment. Also understand the product and digital landscape. And then like after a couple months, 9 months basically, I was understanding the product and digital landscape, how Google works, right? That helped me to lead the Olympic project. So I knew it when I was in a dark place. Yeah. This will lead to my strengths and also positive result. Yeah. So I think goal is important. Yeah.
I think without the time when you feel depression, the glory would never actually.
Never.
You would probably never
100%.
be appreciated at that time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's totally understandable. So I guess it's important to think about like, okay, yeah, comparing yourself to other people is in a healthy way is important too. But, if you're obsessed with it, I think it means that you're actually living the frame of their life, not you. So try comparing yourself to yourself, the old version of yourself, and then imagine like, which direction you wanna go.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, it's a constant work of understanding yourself.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important things to do.
Yeah.
I to be honest, like it's been difficult for me. I have a lot of ups and downs these days as well. Everything's so unclear, and I know my goal. The physical goal is to, let's say, finish the race, like the High Rocks, Ironman upcoming, like in this coming August and November. But you just, after training, you feel great, but you get tired.
Yeah.
And the next morning, I have to do it again. I have to keep working. Why do I even do this?
Yeah.
It just always comes back to square one, and sometimes I can't find the answer. But that's okay. Maybe you don't find the answer today. Maybe you find the answer next week or next month. But once you find the answer, meaning you're becoming stronger, much stronger.
Yeah.
Right. So that's for now, that's my only hope. My only hope is that maybe one day I feel better because I'm working so hard.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I will find the answer.
Yeah.
But man, honestly, it's hard. So don't get me wrong, it's hard. It's not easy. But then if it's easy, then everyone can do it.
Yeah.
Right? So being happy is not an easy thing, to be honest. Maybe it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to become this kind of person, if you know like your goal, what kind of person you want to become, then we suggest, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are not perfect human, of course.
Of course.
But I think it helps for us too to kind of think about these kind of critical questions.
Yeah.
Hard questions. And think deeply and kind of share the opinion between us. Amazing. This is Slow Starters. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening again. We are excited to keep learning.
Yes.
And then
we have done already 40 episodes.
Yeah, around 40 episodes. Well, including the English and Japanese episodes.
And side trip.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, side trip too. So thanks for listening, and thanks for following us on Instagram or any kinds of platform.
Please do not forget to follow our SNS, social media, and also this show. Yeah. And
also thanks for coming to our fourth event,
running
Asakatsu morning run event. It was a great success. There were like maybe less people this time, like 8 or 9 people.
It's fine. We had a great time.
Yeah, we did actually have a great time. I
actually like the small group as well.
True. And then
you can talk with
basically
everybody.
we just talk like at the coffee time. We just like talk non-stop and
then kind of some people are not good at running, and then like we kind of cheer up and like celebrate the
Mika.
run together.
Mika, she was like, I want to quit. And then she kept constantly thinking that she wanted to quit. Well, like maybe because she never ran like 5K. So the point where we ran about like 2.5K, she was like, can I quit? But she just went through it.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
It's just nice to see that breaking through moment.
Yeah. She just like, passed the limit, and she basically she also enjoyed it. We were very proud of her as well. Yeah. So thanks for coming, and we're gonna be having another event in July, hopefully.
Let's go. It's gonna be hot, but
we also want to do like a live event as well. Hey, like at one point, maybe like a Mugambo
Oh.
Or
We
something.
should do it. Really.
Yeah, we should do like maybe starting from
Yesterday I
like
was
5
at
p.m. or
Timor
something.
Rambo,
Yeah. Lance is quite cooperative, so
he's good.
anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
3, 2, 1, slow starters.